again, and welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here!
You knocked Ichiro's head.
That's right, I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner Brian the Ranger Tard, bringing you another great special just to tell the grandkids about and just sit around the fire and talk about.
Will you remember where you were when the following event happened?
Guess what, Philadelphia? Uh-oh. Bradford's gone. Unbelievable. To be honest with you, I don't even remember where I was. I think I was in the car when I heard this, and actually, I was tweeted by the Sports Box telling us that Sam Bradford got traded. It is unbelievable how Sam Bradford, the golden boy of Philadelphia, the guy who is in there to take over for now, before Carson Wentz gets in there and takes over the regime, is gone off to Minnesota, and they got a first-round pick back, which is a solid move.
Listen, I'm going to say this very succinctly and nicely. If you look at this trade as an Eagles fan and you are in any way, shape, or form unhappy or upset with this,
you need to get back in your cave.
I need you to turn your fan card in, to stop watching, just stop, okay? It was never about this season for the Eagles, and anybody who's a real fan will tell you that. Yeah. So it didn't really matter. They weren't going to be good with Sam Bradford. This season was shot to begin with. You got a first-round pick for a guy who sucks.
Yep.
Listen, I don't know what Minnesota's thinking. I don't know. Howie Roseman, I don't know if he's, he hacked Minnesota, maybe has some pictures of the GM. I don't know what happened here, but this is insanity. We talked about it in our preview, Mike. The Vikings use the quarterback the least of any team in the league.
Yep.
Okay? I understand that it's a team they think can win, and maybe they can. Did you really need Sam Bradford at the cost of a first-round pick? I got to tell you, the Eagles did very, very well here.
No, and I think Minnesota got a little desperate because they're opening up a new stadium up there, and they don't want to go in there with Sean Hill. I mean, I understand that Teddy Bridgewater is your future, and hopefully he can come back from that devastating injury that he had. But, I mean, I think Sam Bradford is a fine selection for them to put behind that line. It's a good line, and really just manage the team. Does he have to light up and score 48 touchdowns here? No. He just has to manage the team. That defense is the kind of team that defense can take its toll on that team.
But to that point, is it worth a first-round pick for a game manager?
Minnesota's end, no. It's definitely not a good move for Minnesota. And in the same sense, people said, well, you could have waited until the end of the season. Well, to bank on that Sam Bradford is going to go 11-5 and have that great season that you're going to get a first-round pick, that's a big gamble. And I would have taken the first-round pick in a heartbeat. Minnesota called me up. I mean, that's what the Eagles did. I think that Minnesota made the call and said, listen, we want to give us Sam Bradford for a first. Eagles jumped all over it. And like you said, Brian, I would jump all over it too. That's the opportunity.
Eagles took advantage of a desperate team. They did the exact right thing. This will help them rebuild as well.
Yep.
But there's two things here that I think aren't really being talked about too much. Number one, Pat Shurmur is in Minnesota now. He's part of their offensive coaching staff. He knows Bradford very well from time in Philadelphia and in St. Louis. So from that standpoint, I'm sure that they asked him what he thought. The guy loves him, so that was a big thing there. But I think this says a lot about what we think about Teddy Bridgewater. I think the fact they were willing to commit a first-round pick for a guy like Bradford, I don't know that they know that he's going to be back next season.
Correct.
And I think that sucks. That really would be unfortunate for him.
Yeah,
because you never. But
great young quarterback.
I think it says something. It says what they think. The end game is.
And if you want to look at the big picture too, Bradford's right at home up there because he's got Oklahoma, one-time player with him, Adrian Peterson. So this is going to be a good fit for them. I mean, he's really in a comfortable offense. He's got to learn it now. I mean, I don't think he'll play the first week because Sean Hill will play because he's not really fluent with the offense yet, but that's okay. He'll play the next week. And I think he'll be fine up there. Well, now Philadelphia, the Carson Wentz era starts. I just am a little bit, not really concerned, but wondering if the Eagles fans are going to sit through this. It's not going to be a mess, but you know what? The kid's going to go through.
It's going to be a mess.
The kid's going to go through some growing pains, and I just wonder if it gets to a point where they're going to be 2-4 or 2-5. Is this fan base going to call for Peterson's job?
2-5 would be an improvement. Well, I don't see a lot of wins on their schedule after the first one, and I mean, again, their defense will be fine. Right. Offensively, they're going to be basically a tire fire unless Wentz plays really great. Not rolling that out.
Right.
But not a lot of offensive talent on the team. They're going to use a lot of these picks to build that up. The one thing that I think is kind of getting lost here is people think this was a wash because they got a first-round pick back for Bradford.
No,
and they spent the first-round pick to go get Carson Wentz. Listen, that first-round pick that Cleveland got is going to be a top 5. The one that Cleveland got from the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you're looking
can't worry about the Cleveland pick.
No, but maybe a 24th pick, maybe back from Minnesota.
You're going to be in the 20s, absolutely.
Not a wash, but a great move. Howie Roseman, you get all the credit in the world.
You got the draft back in Philly this year, folks. You need to pick in the first round. And with Carson Wentz, is he going to be a superstar? it's to be determined yet. I don't personally think he's going to be a superstar. I think he's going to be a good, serviceable quarterback. It's just going to be a matter of how it's going to go this year. This offensive line, Philadelphia, is not a good offensive line. So it's just a matter of if he's going to be running for his life, making good decisions. He's going to throw some picks. What's his fan base going to put up with?
Kid's got a lot of talent.
Yep.
I'm not going to take anything away from him there. But I don't think he has a lot around him that will help him succeed early.
Correct.
And that's kind of the concern that you have, is do you throw him out there now, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. At least it makes Eagles' season interesting. That's for sure for the fans.
Yep.
But how will he do with not a lot of talent around him? I think it's a fair question. I mean, again, they went and got Dorial Green-Beckham.
Yep.
They'll probably move Matthews to the slot, but you don't have a number one receiver unless you think Aguilar is going to come out of nowhere. I don't. We'll see what the kid's got, but he's not in a great situation to succeed early. We'll see how his talent comes.
And lastly, I'll say I think the biggest thing for a rookie quarterback to come into the league to do is not learn the playbook, not do any of that stuff, the fundamentals. It's basically to pick up the speed of the game. And if you can pick up the speed of the game, you're already more than halfway there. And I think Dak Prescott, not getting off track, Dak Prescott has picked up the speed of the game, and that's why he's doing well in the preseason. In the season, he might fall apart. It might take him a little while. But I think Carson Wentz doesn't have that experience yet. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So, buckle up, fans. You got Cleveland coming in. Who knows what can happen? I think it's a 50-50 shot. We will soon see. That's all the time we have for the Sam Bradford special. Keep an eye out. We got some good things coming.
And, of course, make sure you're following us on Twitter at Sports Box Show. Like us on Facebook, and the YouTube channel is waiting for you to subscribe to it.
Absolutely. And the button always works, too. So, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters, still right here. Thanks for watching, folks. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.